Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So we got a hella spicy one today. So I've seen a couple of people playing this deck, seen a few deck lists running around. So it's a new strategy in the format that's a little bit wild, and it's all about essentially just generating a heck of a lot of mana and then burning the opponent out with a Worldsoul's Rage, or kind of something similar. So this is a new card that's X red green, and it says when it deals X damage to any target, put up to X land cards from your hand and or your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. And essentially this is a landfall deck, so it's basically looking to make the most of lots of different landfall triggers on things like Omnath or on Nissa Resurgent Animist to build up an enormous amount of mana. Then we play Virtue of Strength, which says which its 7 mana version essentially says if you tap a basic land for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead, and then we just make a massive Worldsoul's Rage and win the game. So to that end, it's a slightly weirdly constructed deck, and you'll notice, particularly looking at the lands, that we have 23 basic lands and no dual lands of any kind, which is slightly unusual given that this is a 4-color deck. But we are essentially just looking to put as many basic lands into play, using things like Virtue of Strength to essentially just generate all of that mana. So we have things like Broker's Hideout and Cabaretti Courtyard and Escape Tunnel and Fabled Passage, so these will let us fix our mana to the mana that we need to cast things like Omnath, but do it in such a way that we get lots of landfall triggers and that all of our lands are basic lands, so that they work with Virtue of Strength. So yeah, that is kind of the idea behind the deck. It's a little bit kind of there's a few more things going on, but I'll just run through the cards. So it's a Yorion deck, so it's an 80-card main deck. So as well as 1 copy of Worldsoul's Rage in the main, we've got 4 Growth Spirals. So this allows us to draw a card and put a land onto the battlefield. Very good ramp spell. Aftermath Analyst, so this is a pretty good spicy new one. So 1/3 for 2, when it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards, and you can pay 4 and sacrifice it to return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So bringing back all of our hideouts, all our courtyards, all our escape tunnels, fabled passages, etc., and just allowing us to keep doing that. And spelunking, of course, if we have that in play as well, then all of the lands come back untapped, so we do get immediate value off them. So that's worth bearing in mind as well. Then we've got 4 Fae of Wishes. So we are running a wish board sideboard, so I will come to that in a minute. But yeah, we will often be going to fetch our sideboard copy of Worldsoul's Rage or whatever else it may be that we need. And then we have some more ramp with Fable of the Mirror Breaker, card selection, all of the good things that does. Our 4 copies of Nissa Resurgent Animist. So this is a landfall spell that not only gives us additional mana whenever landfall triggers, but also if it's the second land that's hit our battlefields that turn, then we can reveal cards from the top of our library until we reveal an L4 Elemental. So we'll either hit an Omnath and just get one of those in our hand, or we'll hit another Nissa. Obviously, we prefer to hit Omnath, but that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles with this one. Sometimes it'll go off exactly as you want, sometimes it'll require a little bit more work. Spelunking, another ramp spell that also, as I say, gives us those untapped lands. Memory Deluge, allowing us to do a bit of card selection, a bit of card draw, and then use all of that mana that we're generating to flash it back later. And then we are running 4 copies of Ill-Timed Explosions. This is an interesting mass removal spell. It's a 4-mana sorcery in blue-red. Draw 2 cards, then you may discard 2 cards. You don't have to. It can just be a draw spell. And when you do, it deals X damage to each creature, where X is the greatest mana value among cards discarded this way. So if we are discarding something like a Memory Deluge or an Omnath, we're doing 4 damage to each creature. Virtue of Strength, we're doing 7 damage to each creature. So it's a pretty efficient board wipe, and we can kind of modulate it in such a way that perhaps our Omnath survives, even our Nissa survives, depending on what the opponent's doing. So yeah, we've got those. We've got 4 copies of Omnath, obviously very powerful 4-color card that has lots of different landfall triggers, and then our Virtue of Strength, which the 1-mana sorcery is pretty neat and just helping bring back one of our lands. So if we have cracked a hideout or a courtyard, we can't just go and get it again. So that's pretty neat. Then we are running a large number of lands. So if we quickly count them up, it is I make it 42 lands, so that's a pretty large number, but this is an 80-card deck. So yeah, it really does just rely on hitting lots and lots of land drops. Then in our wish board, so we have a Tormod's Crypt for the opponent's graveyard. We have a Pick Your Poison, so this is very good at scalpeling away particular issues that the opponent may have. If they have a powerful artifact or an enchantment, or indeed it could deal quite cleanly with a Vein Ripper. Grafdigger's Cage, stopping the opponent from doing things from the graveyard and from their library. Pithing Needle, shutting down those individual cards which may cause us some problems. Alchemist Gambit, so we can go and get this if we just need that additional turn to kind of close out the game and get all the mana that we need. So for 3 mana we can take an additional turn, and then damage can't be prevented during that turn, so it's also a good way of just making sure that our Worldsoul's Rage works, though obviously if we cast it for 3 mana we do lose the game at the end of that extra turn. Ashiok stops the opponent from searching their library, so we may need that. Scapeshift is just another way of kind of getting all of those landfall triggers online. If our kind of aftermath analysts or anything else isn't working out, then we can use Escapeshift instead. Mass removals, Supreme Verdict and Farewell, Leyline Binding, targeted removal. Chandra, very good at counteracting control decks. It just sits around, can't be countered, and slowly burns the opponent out the game. Also kind of acts as a mass removal spell that doesn't hit elementals. Virtue of Strength, so we have our 4th copy of that, and the Worldsoul and another Worldsoul's Rage in the sideboard just to go and get, with Fae of Wishes if we particularly want it, and then 1 copy of Beseiju as well, which we can bring in as a non-basic land if we need some additional artifact or enchantment removal. So yeah, that is the deck. As I say, this is an interesting one. It's probably a little challenging to pilot, so apologies if I make a few misplays here and there, but I think hopefully we will do well enough that you get a sense of how it works, maybe steal a game or two, although I'm sure there are others who kind of developed this strategy who are better at piloting it than I am. But, you know, it is what it is. May as well give it a go. So thank you very much for watching. As ever, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Always appreciate the support. And let's go on to the ladder. Okay, we're on the draw. Yeah, that seems a good hand. Nice 1, 2, 3, 4. Black Cleave Cliffs, so it could be vampires or something like that. Yep. This feels like one of those decks where you're just kind of playing past the opponent and hoping that Omnath can get us there with its life gain. Probably wondering, what the heck is this? Fun is what it is. Hooray for no turn 3 combo. And we'll play Spelunking. Pop a mountain into play. Pass the turn. Now we're ready with Omnath. Sure thing, so we'll take 6 here. They do at least seem to know what they're doing in terms of their exiling of things from my graveyard. This may just be mid-range rather than vampires then, yep. looks likely, so let's play Omnath. Okay, we don't have anything to do with our mana, so let's just double life gain here. Get ourselves another island. Go to 20. That's pretty cheeky. Right, so let's Cabaretti Courtyard. Go and get another mountain. Worldsoul's Rage for 4 on their Blood Tithe Harvester. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another Plains. Grab a Forest. Grab an island. Pop Yorion in our hand, or are we playing Analyst? Let's just stick Yorion in our hands here. This may all be a little too cute and a little too late, but let's see. Okay, I think we've got enough blockers now, so Fable, Analyst, Yorion, Bounce, Analyst, Spelunking, and Fable. Okay, Memory Deluge in the bin is pretty spicy. They will immediately eat it with Graveyard Trespasser, but that will involve them losing their Trespasser, so it's all swings and roundabouts, really. Of course, we could just be dead to Trespasser into Bone Crusher Giant, but you know, let's assume that's not going to happen. What did they ditch there? Hive and reckon a Bankbuster. Okay. I don't like it. I think, yeah. Yeah. Boo. We nearly got away with it there. If we just had one more turn, I think Omnath would have got it done for us. Okay, well, this deck doesn't really sideboard very much, so I suppose we could stick Boseiju in just because they have, like, Bankbusters and stuff. Swap out a Forest. And Fables. That's annoying they drew the Bone Crusher Giant. Yep. Yeah. Shame about the lack of green mana. But I think the question is... Oh, that's awkward. Am I playing out Fae on turn 2? I don't think so. I'll just die to a fatal push. And it's potentially fuel for an ill-timed explosion, so... Make them expend all their removal spells on my stuff. Yeah, now that mana choice is very awkward, but... Hopefully... Won't cost us too dearly. Let's get rid of duplicate Fable Island. Just hope for the best. Yeah, okay, well at least that's a land we can go and get. So forest. Stick Yorion in our hand. And then just chill. Ooh. Okay, they've definitely got a fatal push, haven't they? They couldn't be telegraphing that more widely if it just said fatal push in big letters, so... Let's just go fetch a mountain with this. Play granted. Hello, Chandra. Thank you for coming to play. I'll take a block here. Clear the board.
Everyone knows the bigger explosions are more fun. Okay, jeez, enough.
Okay.
Looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
Gonna get a broker's hideout back. Cool. Okay. I don't think we're doing anything differently. Keep everything the same. And just try and win. Winning is good. Winning is hard. Yeah, this is a good hand. Okay, they can take our Worldsoul's Rage here, but that doesn't really do anything in the early game, so... Not that fussed. Said with such confidence. Let's see if we can bait them into taking the memory deluge here. That's a-okay. Analyst will do some milling. Shame about the Omnath. If Nissa sticks around, she'll do some pretty good work for us here. The opponent missed a land drop as well. Okay, they can now sack one Blood Tithe to kill our Nissa. Interesting. Okay, this could potentially be a very good turn, so let's add red mana. Go fetch a mountain. Add white mana. Okay, it is just another Nissa. So let's play Memory Deluge. Grab Omnath and another Analyst. Pass the turn. See what they want to do here. So they could kill Nissa with their Harvester. Okay, they do have a third land. Fable is a good draw for them. So let's play Nissa. Add blue mana to play Growth Spiral. Add green mana to play an Aftermath Analyst. So we are going off a little here. Still need some white. Oh, Croxer, okay. Croxer, which can now come back. That's very good. Okay, let's discard duplicate Nissa here, as we know it's not dying this turn. This is all slightly awkward, isn't it? Okay, well, let's sacrifice this. Green. Get a plains and blue mana. We can get another island. Let's play Omnath. Now I'm going to cast Granted. Go and get myself a Leyline Binding. Stick Croxer under Leyline Binding. Okay, that seems decent. A lot happened in that turn, but it was good stuff. Shieldred, eh? Okay, let's draw with Shieldred, that's good. can I just win here, is the question. I think I should be able to. So let's play Cabaretti Courtyard. Add blue mana. Go fetch a mountain. Add green mana. So we've got 4, 7, 9. We've got lots of land. Yeah, this should be fine. So let's play Granted. Go and get Worldsoul's Rage. Sack our escape tunnel. Grab another Plains. That'll trigger, do 4 damage, add some red mana, and then we should be fine to just World Souls for a bunch. Yep. Okay, very good. That's kind of how the deck works. Okay. On the draw again. Yeah, that alone, not a good hand. This isn't great either, only having 4 drops, but not bad enough that it's worth getting rid of. Okay, so we're playing an Ensoul artifact deck. Which is exactly the kind of deck you want to have a very slow start against, so let's grab a forest. Depending on what they do, I might just have to hardcast. Yeah, we're so dead. Nah. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to hardcast Fae of Wishes just to have a blocker. Yep, dumping their hand out. So we'll take the 5 here. No, really needed that to be an untapped land. Yep, okay. Good beats. Besage you in, forest out. Everything else can stay the same. Yards. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep this hand, so I actually want ill-timed explosion is the thing, although it may now just be too slow if we're... Let's get rid of 1 island. And growth spiral? Ew, that's rough. That is super rough. Okay, they don't have turn 2 Ensoul this time, at least. Grateful for small mercies. Play Nissa. Okay, this looks to be a fairly thorough beating, but I mean we have drawn absolutely god-awful hands both games, so... Yep. Do we scoop this one up? Well, let's give it another turn or two. We might be able to play ill-timed explosion. Though not without drawing any land, we won't. Again, the trouble with your index, the variance of your opening hands is incredibly high because you have 80 cards. We'll go to 7 and we'll like it. And then we'll die. Well, that wasn't very interesting, was it? Well, not again. We'll need to draw another colour of land here, but hopefully Virtue of Strength can help with that. Hopefully it's innocuous enough that they don't bother taking it. Damn, they took it. Okay. This could be a problem. They know what they're doing, clearly. Okay, that is the wrong colour, but at least it's land. I think, you know, this deck does run 42 lands in the main board, so you would hope the odds of drawing one were reasonably high. Is this Dimir control? Could well be. So let's send our Virtue of Strength on an adventure. Put Yorion in our hand. Pass the turn. See? Doing nothing interesting. Nothing interesting at all. If I were the opponent, I wouldn't even bother playing any cards. Ooh, how I wish I could get rid of these ill-timed explosions. Okay, now I think I will run out Nissa, just because I now have Olnath in my hand. Interesting. It's not a card you see very often. Reject. Yeah. Just a cheaper counterspell, I suppose. Well, hang on to my Fae of Wishes. There's not much point just playing a 1/4. As much as I would like to discard these two ill-timed explosions. Okay. I'm intrigued by this. Well, let's play on math. $42 lands in the main board.
I am your great. You.
I don't think I care about that much, so... Just play some stuff. Bounce the Spelunking to draw a card. It's not like they're going to be able to mill me out with Ashiok. I've got 55 cards in my deck. Well, there go the memory delugers.
Nightmare. Behold, I'll return. My slump. I wonder what you feel.
So we'll play Fable, because that'll allow us to get rid of these annoying ill-timed explosions. Whoops. Yikes. Oh well. Yeah, the passive on Ashiok. That doesn't come up very often.
Your final terror is upon you.
Bye! Okay, Echoing Deeps is just a land here. And let's play Virtue of Strength. And we'll play Fable. Let's go and get Worldsoul's Rage. And then just play Fae of Wishes. So I think this should be enough. Don't think they're holding on to a counter spell here. What does this one do? Creature or Planeswalker? And even if they do, I've got enough stuff that I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. Ooh. Curse of the Stash Skeleton.
This is my masterpiece.
But they are dead here. Which is a shame, because I did kind of enjoy what they were doing. Discard ill-timed explosion. Sure thing. I keep doing that. It doesn't make any difference now, of course, but 16. Good, good. So, what have they got? They don't have any decent artifacts or enchantments. There's no point putting Beseiju in. Yeah, I think everything else stays the same. No sideboarding decisions is sometimes for the best. So, not sure I'm thrilled about not having any plays until turn 4. This is slightly better. So let's put back Broker's Hideout. Okay, no turn 2. No turn 1 Thoughtseize is good news, rather. Ooh, foretelling a card, fancy. Okay, let's get our Virtue of Strength out of our hands. Okay, we'll try and remember that actually stops me searching my library. Ooh. I think Nissa's still the better bet here, but not unhappy to see Fable. Wonder what this Foretold card is.
I leave you with one last nightmare.
Well, it doesn't do anything at the moment, so just play Fable. Okay, it's Behold the Multiverse. Sure thing. Oh, an Unmoored Ego. What are they going to take from me, I wonder? Yeah, they can't take away this one, though. That's the problem with doing Unmoored Ego.
Behold, my epilogue of fear.
Okay, so we will just ditch Mountain here, give us something to do. Let's take down Ashiok. Play on that.
Dissipates like smoke.
Habaretti Courtyard. Fetch a Forest. Play Fable. Omnath is such a silly card. The fun we have. What are they going to get, I wonder? Yeah, let's ditch both of these. Yeah, we'll draw more land anyway. Escape tunnel. Get another mountain. A Virtue of Strength. Attack for 8. Stick Yorion in our hand. Don't think it's worth playing at this point, just we might overextend too much in the board if we do that. Yeah, bloody hell. Whatever you've drawn, it better be good. Nope. Didn't even need to Worldsoul's Rage there. Well, there you are. That is Elementals and Worldsoul's Rage and Nissa and basic lands. Lots of basic lands. All of the stuff going on here. Fun. Okay, so that is the deck list one more time. As I say, this is a relatively new strategy. I've only seen a couple of variations of it, so it probably needs a little bit of work, but interesting nonetheless, and it's fun to be kind of making use of all these common lands, rather than the usual splurging all of your wildcards on rare lands. So yeah, interesting stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.